Hey guys, Kurt here with NK Garage. So today we are at the Field of Tools. This is the second year of this show, August 7th through August 9th. We just got here. We're ready to jump inside, see what they got. We did pretty well last year, so I'm feeling pretty good about this one. If you like something you see in here, you might want to check it out if you're around. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so we're back in the garage, but we found a ton of stuff. Everything here on the table is all individual picks, and then I got a bulk buy. You might have seen a little sneak peek of that's in the bin. So first up, this was one of my first purchases of the day. I spotted these from a mile away, and I know that Resto Rob is probably drooling right now. We've got 4 pairs of new old stock Bonnie Tools pliers. They all have the red handles on them. So we have a diagonal cutter, we've got a small pair of lineman's pliers, duckbill pliers, and a larger pair of lineman's pliers. Next up, we've got this proto hammer right here, and this is old school proto with the octagon handle. Nice condition on that original handle. Proto is written right here. This is probably a 4-ounce ball peen hammer. Got this pair of King Dick pliers. King Dick, made in England, $5, pretty good condition on that. Little cutter and kind of like the lineman style pliers. Another $5 find was this small little, probably 6-inch Coase wrench. Nick found some tools for the mill, so he actually found these 2 screw jacks earlier on, and we got both of these for $10. But I told him, I think I saw a set of Starretts before. Why don't we go check that out? So this was $20 for both. And these are Starrett brand little machinist screw jacks. And what's nice about the Starrett brand versus that other set, which is homemade or just import stuff, These have all different little attachments for different purposes. These are both complete and excellent condition with the original boxes. As you can see, I picked up some wire wheel brushes. The guy that was selling these has tons of them, like hundreds of them, and he's got all different sizes. So I picked up 3 fine and 3 coarse. So that was 6 wire brushes for 20 bucks. I definitely recommend if you're heading to the show, check that guy out. He's under one of the tents. Got some shiny wrenches here. That same guy with the wire brushes had some Snap-on and SK stuff. Now this is going to be a little bit higher price because this is high quality tools. I did pay $90 for these 3 wrenches, and they are vintage Snap-on underline logo in fantastic condition. No owner's marks, no rust. These are all flank drive, 12-point large metric sizes. So we have the 24, the 22, and the 20 millimeter. And then while I was at it, I figured, you know, I don't find a lot of these large metric wrenches, so I paid 15 bucks for these 3 SK USA. So we got 22, 21, and 20 millimeter. Up at the top, a couple like $5 items right here. Got this jumbo S-curve Williams wrench. Always a nice favorite of mine to pick up these old chunky wrenches. They're just awesome. This here is EC Stearns & Co. And it's some kind of animal tagging or tool. I'm not a farm tool expert, but it's cool. Definitely an old antique tool. I got a bunch of dollar table wrenches here. So we have a double box Forge Select Steel made by Indestro. Got a Bonalloy double box. 3 Dunlaps. Those are pretty cool, and these are the old school USA made with the V code. So pretty awesome find there. An old Armstrong double box. Got this Williams big, probably a lathe tailstock or other machinery style wrench, 1.25" hex. 2 lathe tool posts, the Williams square wrenches. This one I believe is a Williams as well. I got it in the same bin, and it's a double pin spanner. And then this was another dollar table item, old Armstrong lathe cutting tool, old school style. These were all more dollar table finds. We've got the South Park Corp, St. Paul, Minnesota, I believe that is. It's a fireman's like nozzle tool. Got myself another Sears Craftsman Allen key pouch. I didn't realize it was split open, but again, it was on the dollar table, so I just have a weird thing for these. 2 pairs of Utica 7-8 slip joint pliers in pretty good shape. Again, dollar table. How can you complain? This is an old Wright with the Tootsie Roll handle. Tootsie Roll handle's in okay shape. Typically these would dry rot and fall off, so the fact that it's still here isn't bad. And it's got a little slop here, but 3/8 breaker bar by Wright with that handle. Thought $1 was a pretty good snag. And then we got this screw holding screwdriver by Hold the Ease. Thought it was a cool looking one. Upson Tools. Why not? Nick picked out this little assortment from Harbor Freight, copper washers. Probably paid a couple bucks for it. Most of these adjustable wrenches, aside from the double-ended crescent, I think I paid $30 for this one. And this is the what they call the 6 to 8 inch. But I already have the 8 to 10. And the 4 to 6, so that's my crescent double-ended collection. I needed that one to kind of fill the gap. Had to have it, so 30 bucks for me. I thought that was fine. And the rest of these adjustable wrenches were all $1 or $2, you know, on those dollar tables. Definitely a great deal for an adjustable wrench. This one here is insulated, and then Nick also picked out this new in box DeWalt tripod. A couple weeks ago I got the Dump Diamonds laser level, and this is going to be an excellent tripod to use for that. So $20 new in box, comes in a case and everything. Thought that was also a pretty sweet deal. And then we got the big buy. So kind of earlier on in the show, we were checking out this table, and Nick says there's something over here you might want to look at. And I got over and I peeked in this bin and I said to Nick, oh boy, this is dangerous. Now, what is in this bin is, I asked the guy, I said, do you buy out collections and stuff from like estate sales? And he said, yeah. So this was somebody's personal collection of basically patented weird adjustable wrenches, pipe wrenches, stuff like that. But there are over 100 pieces in here. So he was asking around $20 a wrench individually. We bought the whole lot, over 100 pieces, for $1,000, which sounds like a lot of money, but then once you get into here and you start seeing some of these weird ones. I've never heard of this one, H&E, patented in September 1921. And a lot of times these wrenches never took off, so this is probably 100 years old, around that. But it has this quick feature function. It basically has a drive screw in the middle with finer threads on the top, coarser threads on the bottom with the handle. So as you move this, it moves that a lot faster. Kind of interesting design. This is in excellent condition, probably worth a decent amount of money. There's other styles, like we've all seen these kind of twisting adjustment styles. This one here is the Larkomatic. It's got the patent information on there, but look at the condition. This is like barely used, if ever, almost new old stock condition. You just don't usually see this kind of stuff. A lot of times these things are just beat and messed up, but there's all different kinds of stuff in here. I can't even count how many style of auto wrenches we have. We have weird adjusting pliers. We're gonna have to do a whole nother video just on this. Here's a Baco, AB Baco. It even says Volvo right there, with the alligator and adjustable wrench combination. We got weird stuff like this. You hold that and I'm trying to figure out how to, but yeah, you release that, it's got teeth in there, and you adjust it. These are all things everybody wanted to be the guy to invent the best adjustable wrench, and everybody tried hundreds of times to see what was going to make it. A Craft 10-inch, never seen this. It's got this like wheel and a spring, so it automatically tensions itself. It even is marked the Craftsman Tool Company, which I believe is completely unrelated from the Craftsman brand we all know. This is patented 1907. Just weird, crazy stuff. There are a lot of bicycle wrenches in here. That is probably going to make up 20, 30 of the wrenches. There's just, they're all falling to the bottom. But a lot of Billings and Spencer stuff. Again, there's going to be a whole nother video because we couldn't even touch the surface today. But I think it was a success. You know, this obviously was a big buy, but I am the adjustable wrench king, so how can I not? I think we did great. I mean, I love the Bonnie stuff. Nick's pretty happy with the machinist jacks and his tripod. We got some shop stuff. So I definitely think that the Field of Tools is absolutely worth it. This was year 2, our second year in a row, and we struck gold each time. Got these shiny snap-on wrenches for our toolbox. So I definitely think that if anybody lives in the New York area, the Field of Tools is at East Durham, New York. It's about an hour and a half from us. It's absolutely worth a trip. It's a really nice place. You guys got to see all the sights and a little sneak peek. So I definitely recommend it. I'm even trying to get this video out in a rush so people can even try to make it this weekend because they're open Saturday and Sunday as well. So guys, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you all love the tools and the sights to see at the Field of Tools. It was a really great show. Second year in a row we've been. And stay tuned for the $1,000 super adjustable wrench haul because that's coming out soon. And that one's going to be a doozy. So hope you guys had a great time. We'll see you guys again next week with another.